96.7 The Beat, the A's, hip hop and R&B. I am Moran, the man. You're in store for another edition of 20 Infinity Live, and I'm in the presence of a legend, y'all. A beautiful legend. She looked like she just turned 15 yesterday.
I love it.
She is gorgeous, y'all. Yes. Sheryl Lee Ralph is in the building. What's happening?
Thank you. It's all good. I'm here with you.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here with you. Now, I was introduced to you in my childhood as D from Moesha.
The original Mama D.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, no shade at all.
No shade at all.
But
the original.
Yes. Okay, I'll say it. The original Mama D.
Thank you.
There she is.
Right.
There she is. And she's still out here putting in work, looking gorgeous and flawless, and everything is just lovely. How do you feel?
I feel very good. I'm so happy that after all that you just said, that I'm still in this industry, that I'm still pulling down a check, doing what it is I love to do on national TV.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and we also must make it clear, because I met you through Moesha, but to the people from my generation, a lot of people may not know that you're an original dream girl.
There you go, another original. Thank you.
All this sauce, like Jesus Christ.
Hey, you got to come with the truth,
yes,
and that's
ma'am.
my truth.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you don't tell your truth, then other people think it's somebody else's truth. And I'm like, I'm the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sound like you are very confident. You are a very confident young lady.
You better be.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, if I am not confident in who I am, then what am I doing here?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
I have no clue.
Because when you are not confident in yourself, you're giving somebody else your power. And I'm not doing that.
Absolutely. And
right.
You shouldn't. So going back to you and your career, you've had such a long career.
And I cannot believe it.
Why can't you believe it?
Because, I mean, when you say long, it's really been long. I graduated from college at 19. That January, I got my first film, Piece of the Action, starring with Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby, and it started from there. So I was able to go to school for what I wanted to do, satisfy my parents, graduated, came out and did exactly what I wanted to do. And that's nothing but God's blessings. And then to still be doing this, oh, come on now. That's just, it's like unbelievable.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So you also came in a time where blacks didn't necessarily get a lot of the opportunities.
Didn't. No,
okay,
don't say necessarily. Blacks did not get the opportunity. When a woman chose to wear her hair like yours, when a woman by the name of Rosalind Cash chose to dread her hair, Hollywood all but told her, you will never work again until you find a more natural hairstyle. You know, when I did a film with Robert De Niro and he said, my God, it's like you're like really good, like really, really good, like award-winning good. But Hollywood is not looking for the black girl. So when you hear things like that, I've heard those things and it really happened. And now when I look and I see the roads that my young sisters are coming on behind me, I'm like, damn, that road was hard to build, but I'm glad you get to walk on it.
Yes,
glad you get to walk on it.
Yes, ma'am. Because, you know, like there's a saying that says sometimes somebody has to die so somebody else can live.
And that is the truth. And so many went before me who wanted to see this day. They wanted to see Viola exactly the way she is. Hold on to that Emmy. Hold on to that Oscar. I can hear some of those actresses tell me, it's going to happen, Sheryl. It's going to happen. And I was like, yes, it's going to happen. We're going to make sure it happens for you. It just makes me, my God.
Crying. Look at you.
No, for real. They worked so hard.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, they tried so hard to break down those barriers, and it was very, very difficult. But now I see these walls coming down, and that's a good thing. But still, you know, we're still having hair issues. My God.
Yeah. Off record, we had a little conversation about the law that just got passed. So how does it make you feel knowing that this literally just happened in 2019? Because when you read it on paper, it just looks crazy on paper to know that that had to actually be a law to get passed.
Because what was happening before was people were discriminating against you and your hairstyle.
This is very true.
They did not have to hire that hairstyle. It doesn't matter how accomplished you are, how right you were for the job. They weren't hiring that hairstyle, and it was legal for them to discriminate against that hairstyle. For 400 years, we've been fighting hair battles in America, just trying to be our natural selves in America. The black woman came here. The first thing they did was try to shave off her head. When that didn't work, because that didn't work for her, then she had to grease down her head so that she didn't get, bugs and lice and things like that working out in those fields. And then when she grew her hair, they said, then you got to wrap up your hair. Then when she wrapped up her hair, it said it's too much of a distraction. Then when she took that off with freedom, then she tried to decorate her hair. They said, once again, you are too distracting and you will be arrested for that hair. So I say to myself, my God, if you just follow hair tails, it's enough to make you crazy.
Absolutely. History lesson 101. Where were you during
Thank
Black
you.
History Month? Because I ain't gonna lie, I feel like this past Black History Month was kind of bad. We had a lot of things as far as like stuff in the media going on, with like Jussie Smollett and other incidents.
Poor Jussie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very, very sad. But Hollywood is a very interesting thing. Sometimes you get the hunger for more, and sometimes it's more of the wrong thing. But I know in his heart of hearts, Jussie is a good person. I know Jussie. I do a thing called Divas Simply Singing every year. And one year when I did not have the money, Jussie wrote the check.
Okay.
So I know that there's a good person there. So I cannot speak ill of him, but I can definitely say, you know what? My son made a poor choice. Poor choice, baby.
Absolutely.
But, we learn from that. And Hollywood loves nothing better than from people to rise from the ashes. They love that.
Absolutely.
So give them some time. Don't kill yourself. Hang in there. Rise from the ashes like a phoenix some other time.
Yes, ma'am.
Not right now.
Not right now.
Some other time. And there will be some other time. There are a lot of heinous people out there who have done heinous crimes, killed people, eaten people, done horrible, horrible things. They have risen from the ashes, and people have forgotten.
That's real.
Humans forget.
This is very
quickly.
True. This is very true.
Yeah.
This is very true. So how does it feel for you to still be on TV in 2019? Because you got a new sitcom coming to CBS.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I can imagine.
Yes,
I absolutely can. I know who I'm talking to.
Oh,
yes, I can imagine.
Thank you. See, but that's only because you're the millennial that watched Moesha.
Yeah,
I would tell people, no, seriously, I would tell people all this about 10 years ago. I said, you wait a minute. When all of those Moesha babies grow up, I'm going to get some gifts that you are not going to be able to keep track of. And it's happening.
Yes, ma'am.
Because they love that character. They love Dee. As much as they loved Moesha, there was something about, you always love your mother. And in so many ways, I became a mother for a generation of people. There are people who tell me, you really taught me about life, or you raised me from the TV, which I find fascinating. We had incredible writers. Ralph Farquhar was our executive producer, and he was so diligent about putting people in place to move forward and use their platforms well. And he really empowered a lot of young writers and executive producers that came up, and me too, because I'm still here.
Yes, ma'am.
And now doing FAM, it was great. Once again, I have a great executive producer in Aaron Kaplan from Kaplan Capital Entertainment, and it's just wonderful when somebody picks up a phone and calls you and says, Sheryl Lee Ralph, this is what we're working on. Are you interested in doing this? Hey! I said yes to Moesha. I said yes to FAM. And that was the absolute right answer. The show's doing well. We claim our time slot every Thursday at 9:30 on CBS. And the response we get is great. It's kind of crazy. It's all about class. It's all about culture. It's all about race. And we never mention it. We never mention it. We just let you see it.
Absolutely.
We just let you experience it.
Yes, ma'am.
You see that well-to-do black family. You see this young white girl who wants to marry my son. She brings her family. Her sister is bat crazy. Her father is a borderline racist New York police officer. And all of these people come together and blend to become FAM. Yeah. So it's very interesting. It's a show for right now.
Yeah, I think it's very necessary for this era because it's a lot going on.
Yeah,
with
there
race
is,
relations, and I feel like it's very necessary.
Yeah.
So, do you still keep in contact with the cast from Moesha?
You know what? We've had some very sad things happen with our cast. We lost. Some of them died young. Some of them died early, and that kind of lingers with you. It's sort of like you grieve for those who are not with you. I don't speak to Brandy as much as I would like to. I do run into William Allen Young, who played Frank, more often. I haven't seen Marcus in a long time. So, and
you at Miles? Dad?
And Miles is still locked in a trunk somewhere in South Central.
Oh, man, that's
remember
crazy.
that's how it ended?
That is how it ended. It was
That's
such
right.
a cliffhanger. We were so mad.
Everybody was mad.
Like, why did it have to end like that?
Why?
You can fill us in.
It made no sense.
None.
You think it makes sense? It doesn't make sense to you? It still doesn't make sense to me. It was just a stupid move.
That was just a horrible.
It was just horrible move. I always thought, let's reboot it. Let's give some closure. Even if we just reboot it and did 13 episodes, just give some closure to that whole thing. That would be a good thing.
Yes. I speak that into existence.
That
we
would
need
be
to
a
get a
good
Moesha
thing.
reboot.
How about that?
Absolutely. How do you feel when you see, Ray J? Because on the show he was D-Money, the stepson. And,
well, I hear he's really D-Money now with his scooter company.
Yeah, he's out here.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how that all came about. I don't know if he owns one of these scooter companies that you see on the sidewalk.
Yeah. So he's into, because he actually was a guest up here not too long ago.
Okay.
He's into the mobile biking, and he also has his own headphones with the Raycon Global. So,
Is that right?
Yeah.
More power to you,
Ray
baby
J's out
boy.
here.
Listen, Ray J makes people famous. He certainly did it for Kim Kardashian. So if he could do it for Kim Kardashian, he could do it for himself.
Absolutely. So as a young Black actress like yourself,
I just love you for saying as a young Black actress like myself. God bless you.
Thank you very much. I
Yes.
appreciate you. So you've gone through a lot of smoke, a lot of fire, a lot of smoke and mirrors.
Gotten burned too.
But you went through it flawlessly. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Still looking like you're 15.
Thank you.
What is some advice that you could really provide to somebody out there that's really trying to act? Because in today's era, we see a lot of young girls, they get caught up in like the fake reality of like Instagram and Twitter, and they think that what they see is real.
It's not.
And you're one of these people, like when it comes to acting, you had to read the script, you had to practice, you had to go to the call-in, you had to do the work before you got the glamour.
Right.
So what is some advice that you can provide to that girl that's trying to make it?
There has been no time greater than this time. This is a wonderful time if you want to enter into the industry. But just know that the same pitfalls that were there for me are the same pitfalls that are there for you. There's all of this nakedness that you've got on Instagram, on social media. All of that nakedness will stay with you. And you have to figure out, is that what you want to portray to your audience? Because that will become your audience. Now, if you want a naked viewing audience, trust me, that's what you want. You want a naked viewing audience. Do you want to be taken seriously as an actor, as an actress? Well, then you might want to rethink your brand. You might want to start showing people that you can really act. Maybe you want to get into class, because getting into class to hone your skills, it's important. You have to understand how to enter an audition room, how to own the room, how to show them exactly what you can do. How can you take direction from a director? Do you have other accents? Another accent is always good. Do you speak another language? That's all great stuff. That makes for a varied actor, but it also takes work. So you have to work at it. But if you want to be known for your breasts and your behind, that's fine. But just know that's what you'll be known for. And people will always undress you in their mind. And there are deep repercussions for more people than just yourself when you're naked and on Instagram. Because what happens is your baby sister who's got her college degree or is going somewhere around the world to study or work, she's going to be looked at as if she has no clothes on. Because that's what starts to, that proliferates, throughout the social media. So every little Black girl can be a reality star or known as a reality star because that's all they think you are.
Absolutely.
That's the power of this medium. It's a very powerful medium, and I tell people, don't downplay it because it's powerful.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
used in the right way, it can do some incredible things.
What are some things that you would like to see change, if anything?
I would like to see the tone of some of people's behavior change, but I also think they've been shown a poor example. People right now, if you look on social media, maybe people have always behaved like this. Maybe people are always cussing people out in the supermarket.
Right.
Maybe people have always been spitting at people out in the street. Maybe people have always been calling the police on Black and brown and people who wear turbans. And that's another thing that's on my brain. People who wear turbans, if they look like they are from the Middle East or from India and they've got a turban on their head, they're probably a Sikh. Sikhs are peace-loving, peaceful people. Their religion is peace. Please know who people are before you start calling police on people, much less black people just being black on the road. Because I'm sick of this. It's becoming bad. Because trust me, they still shoot black people just because they're black.
Yes, ma'am.
They still stop young black men in expensive cars just because they're black. This is a new development now. You can be a black woman, call the police asking for help because somebody's tried to put a shotgun to your head and the policemen somehow figure that you're wrong, so they arrest you. Not only do they arrest you, but they beat you up and throw you to the ground. That happens on the regular.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, mind you, it's been happening on the regular for 400 years, but the covers have been pulled off now, and we're seeing it. And I would like to see some of this behavior change.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You dropped a lot of gems today.
Hey!
Absolutely. I feel like everything that you said was necessary because, you're somebody who has lived. You're very experienced, so you are somebody that we can all learn from, for real.
Thank you. And do not be proud of closing the door in somebody else's face.
What do you mean by that? Please explain.
People are calling on people saying, I don't like the way they look. Remember, there are a whole lot of people in America who don't like the way you look either. In fact, I walked in here and we were talking about your hair. Your hair just became legal. Dreadlocks just became legal. You hearing me?
Yes, ma'am.
In the state of New York, you can no longer be discriminated against because of your natural hair, because some people find it offensive. Can't be shutting doors on people just because you don't like their color, their shade, their hairstyle, their religion, their this, their that. And you got to start showing up for a lot of people. Support the NAACP. My God. What is it going to take for us to support ourselves? Black folks need to support black folks and be unapologetic about it. Anybody else in these United States, they support themselves. You even have white terrorists now who support white terrorists. Well, I mean, they call them supremacists, but I don't know how come you can be a supremacist and then you're not a terrorist. I mean, come on now. Black man takes out one person who looks just like him. Okay, that's just a crime. But you have a white supremacist come in and take out 50 people? Oh, it's not a big deal. He's white. In fact, we're not going to show you his face. In fact, let us show you some baby pictures of him so that you can see that he was really a good person. What the hell? I'm concerned. Terrorism is what it is. Terrorism. And we have been under terrorists in these United States for a long time. People have forgotten that terrorists used to put hoods over their heads, drive it right up, and then later drive up, right up into black neighborhoods, collect black boys. You know what they collected them for?
Yes, ma'am.
For lynching on Sunday after church. For lynching on Sunday after church. So imagine you got your nice son and they just ride up in your neighborhood, take your son. They send out postcards and telephones and tell people we lynching a nigga on Sunday after church. And then you know what they did for extra fun? They set him on fire. They set him on fire. And then you know what they did after they set him on fire? They picked the skin off of his bones. They had this thing where they would dry bones. They would collect his dry bones as a what? Souvenir.
Crazy.
That's terrorism.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know what else to call it. And we've been under terrorism for a long, long time. Those police officers in Miami-Dade, they're terrorists. Terrorists. Now, I'm not saying that all police officers are terrorists, because if you ever needed a good police officer, honey, a good police officer is a good thing to find. But those that did that to that girl were terrorists. She was upset. She said he put a gun in my face. Gun in my face. Shotgun. You ever have a shotgun in your face?
I've never had a shotgun put in my face.
My grandfather had a shotgun in his face, and they pulled the trigger, and that's not funny.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Of course, he's not here to tell you anything about it, but that's not funny. You need to calm down. Really. That's how you address that. Get another job, Miami-Dade police officers. You got a problem, and you need to solve it. In fact, we got a whole lot of people who should not be on the force. Some of them are suffering from PTSD, and they just need something else to do. And there's nothing wrong with doing something else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't get me started here. Now I'm all hot and everything. Lord have
it's
mercy.
All good.
It's
all
hot
good.
in this doggone studio. Shoot.
I feel like everything that you said today was very necessary. Everything needed to be said.
It's true.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And we want to act like it didn't happen. We want to act like it doesn't happen. It happened. It is happening. And we need to be vocal and outspoken about what is happening.
Yes, ma'am.
And now is the time. This election coming up in 2020, you better make it count.
Got to do it.
See, everybody said, my vote doesn't matter. Yeah, now you see how much your vote really does matter, because you see what you got. And we are in some sort of an Armageddon. We are in some sort of the end of the world as we once knew it. This is awful. Did you ever see that video of that woman, that teacher who was in the supermarket with her 2 daughters? And she just went ham on one of the young black men working in the store.
No,
she
ma'am.
called him out the N. She said, "You MFer, don't you talk
this
to
is
me."
recently?
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly. I saw it. I know something.
You MFer, don't talk to me like that in front of my daughters, you N-word. That's what she said in front of her poor, horrified-looking little white girls. But those poor little white girls were terrified. They were like, "Mommy, I thought you said it's all the people all the time. Did you use the N-word?" I felt so bad for them little white girls. But that's what's happening in a lot of houses. Why would so many young white college students discover overnight blackface and think that's the way that they should go for Halloween? Because nobody taught them.
That's real.
Because they don't know.
That's real.
Because we haven't been vocal about our own stories. Do you know that there are cultures in America? You know what they do with their children on Saturday?
Please.
They send them to their culture school. They send them to their culture school so that they can learn their culture. And then when they're like 13 years old, they have a test in front of the whole community. And you have to share your culture with the community. What you buying? You buying some more sneakers? That's your culture for your child? We got more to offer.
Absolutely. I agree
So
with you.
much more to offer. And this whole thing with this sugar tax that's going to be spreading across the country, do not be mad if they're going to tax you an extra cent on your dark, fizzy drink to put into education. Because trust me, your child needs preschool.
Absolutely.
Your child needs it, and you don't need that dark, sugary drink. Because the way diabetes is kicking our behinds,
It's here.
the way heart disease is taking us out, the way blood pressure numbers for us are skyrocketing. Stop believing that all of this is genetic or it just runs in my family. It runs in your family because you don't run. You need to work out. You need to run. You need to fix you because we're better than that. Do you know why black folks were the ones put on those ships to make that transatlantic journey? Because we were strong enough to make the journey.
That's true.
England tried it with white people. England used to like to put white people in indentured servitude. And they put all those, just like they put slaves, except they could stand up and move around. They put the white people in the ships. They couldn't make the journey. And those that made the journey got sick on sea, got sicker on land.
Yeah.
Black folks were strong, and they made it.
Says a lot.
And now look at us. We are so ill.
Super ill.
We are so ill. People were out there talking about Obama didn't do anything for me. Obama gave you health care. You know how bad you need it? You know how sick you are? Your high blood pressure, you don't even know your numbers. If you got an 80 on that bottom number, you got a problem coming. You got a problem. People don't even know. You know, every black person should have one of those wrist monitors, and every one of them should know what their numbers are. We need to know our numbers because we're not doing too well. And we're using the emergency room. Although I'll tell you the truth, if you find a good emergency room, hey.
That's real. Well, I definitely appreciate you pulling up on me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your gems and all this black girl
Listen to
magic.
my podcast.
Oh, yes. Please talk about your podcast. Talk about everything you got going on.
I have a wonderful podcast called Diva Defined with Sheryl Lee Ralph. And you can download, listen, and subscribe now. I got some great friends telling some great, raw, real stories. And we were kicking it here. We just kick it real, whatever their topic is. You know, Chandra Wilson from Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
She's such a wonderful woman. And people don't know she has directed most of those episodes. I was like, what? You know, Reva Martin, her son has autism. Sherry Shepherd, when she talks about having such a public life and then dealing with ex-husbands and a son with special needs that needs her and her mother dying on her and her saying, wait a minute, the way my mother died is the way I'm looking to die now, because she started checking her numbers and just what her mother had was on what she was on the way to having. And her health changed the moment she started taking care of herself and working out. Changed everything. Lonnie Love, when she talks about her friends dropping dead, breast cancer, heart disease, and her desire to love herself enough to seek love in whatever color it came. Oh, my God. When they just start talking, it's wonderful. So download, listen, and subscribe to Diva Defined with Sheryl Lee Ralph.
Support her podcast.
Thank you.
Also, watch her show, Fam, on CBS.
CBS Thursdays at 9:30. We are winning our time slot every doggone week. I love it.
W's on top of W's. And also, in closing, we're going to speak this Moesha reboot into existence.
I would love to see that happen. Oh, that would be a great thing.
Absolutely.
And now would be a good time. Well, no, we can't do it right now. We have to do it on a winter break in between. Fam, yes, there you go.
There it is. Well, thank you very much for pulling up on me, Miss Ralph. Definitely loved all this black girl magic, all these gems.
Oh, thank you.
Really appreciate it. Stay young. I'm Moran the Man. 96.7 The Beat. We out.